Good morning, all the family members of psychology and other studies. How are you all? How are you? I can't hear you. Good, right? Fine, excellent. How is Sri Lanka? Yet to see. Okay, fine. This is what the core idea of this research work, right? The interpersonal relationship between employee and employer, and how management is helping employees to have more innovation in the organization, and how to give more productivity to employee and employer as well, right? So my topic is pursuit organizational support and self-leadership as predictors of innovative work behavior among knowledge workers. Innovative work behavior, actually from day one onwards, for example, fire started with rubbing two stones, and we started using wood, kerosene, gas, and so many other things, and now visual fire like induction stove, right? This is what the growth of a simple aspect, right? But which is very important. One. So likewise, education, science, arts, and many other studies, right? So having innovation is what very important for our, life. Not only for individual, for the whole society and the country, right? Actually, what is innovation? Innovation is just an application of creative idea, right? It's just creating, introducing, and applying new ideas in an organization or the society. When we discuss about the business work, it is applicable very much in the organization, right? It gives benefits to individual to develop his career growth, and organization to promote service and product. And organizations consider innovation as competitive edge and aid to success. Organizational climate and its self-leadership skills and many other aspects. It's not only these two, and motivation, satisfaction, other psychological variables or psychological contract is very important for the management and the employer to develop or promote creativity and innovation in the organization. That's how any organization is developing. Pursuit organizational support. A question from a boss to an employee, it's very simple to ask how are you, but that gives an employee to have more sense of belongingness towards the organization, and it gives more support, emotional support to any individual who is working in the organization. And when he or any individual perceives that management is more concerned about me, and of course he is or she is very dedicated and very loyal to the organization. Global beliefs among the employees concerning the extent to which the organization values their contributions and cares about their well-being. And we get care from the management. At the same time, tangible benefits also very important in our organization. It is not only talking about their ideas, belief system, values, and adaptation to the culture, but it also talks about tangible benefits like remuneration, perks, incentives, other benefits, because that's how organization retains employees in the organization. So in both the ways, like tangible and intangible ways, management should have the attachment or affiliation with employees. Third, self-leadership skills. A self-navigation competency in the employees. It was identified to mediate the relationship between intrinsic motivation and role innovation. In our study, we have a few dimensions, which I'll explain it later. For some people, it is inborn. For some people, it is trained. For some people, it is adopted from somebody. This self-leadership skill makes any individual to attach or to be very focused on the individual's goal. It is not always related to what organizational is giving to that individual. Individual is have an intrinsic motivation that he has an assignment that he has to finish it. That's all. He at times he is not bothered about the organizational support or in many other factors. But it is a skill set can be developed or can be identified by the management to inform to the individual to use in the organization to promote productivity. So knowledge workers, the professionals who uses creative applications throughout their career or personal life as well. The mainstays of any organization with innovative behavior were strong in bringing innovative results. Nowadays, any organization is keen on creativity and innovation. Organizations are not focusing on the service, years of working or any other tradition, nothing. They seek only creativity and innovation. That's how organizations survive in the market. So knowledge workers who actually think and think and apply their ideas, or many other learnings in their work, called knowledge workers. For example, teachers, of course, they think and they creatively teach to the students. Doctors, of course, we all researchers, we think critically and we try to get solution for many other problems. Yes, so they all called knowledge workers. Yes, the rationale behind this study is, of course, we can say it is cultural sensitive work it conducted in India. There are 2-3 aspects in bringing the rationale behind this study. One is literature review, and second one is personal reasons to identify the difference between men and women in perceiving organizational support and having innovative work behavior. The present study is an attempt to find if perceived organizational support and self-leadership skill among the researcher in science and technology and humanities research organization can be the predictors of innovative work behavior. Out of many research studies, we found many factors are really contributing to have innovative behavior, but due to limitations, we have taken only 2 variables. One is perceived organizational support and other one is self-leadership skill. Sample consists of 60 knowledge workers working from humanities and science and technology research institution in Bangalore, India, and I used purposive sampling method to select knowledge workers for my study. And I have 3 hypotheses. First one is innovative work behavior among the knowledge workers has a significant relationship with perceived organizational support and self-leadership skill. Second, male knowledge workers differ significantly from female knowledge workers in perceived organizational support, self-leadership skills, and innovative work behavior. And third one is knowledge workers differ in perceived organizational support, leadership skills, and innovative work behavior with respect to their discipline. There were 3 measures were used. One is innovative work behavior scale developed by Johnson 2000. It's a 9-item scale and it has 7-point Likert scale method, and of course adequate reliability is there for this tool. Second one is self-leadership skills measure developed by Houghton and Neck in 2002, and third one is perceived organizational support questionnaire. It's an adapted version and we found it also has reliable adequate reliability. Okay, so this is what the sample distribution for my study. One is male, female, and male are 38 numbers out of 60, and this is 63%, and female 22 participants, which is 36.7%. Second, the distribution of the subject in the sample with respect to discipline. One is humanities, 29 knowledge workers were selected. From science and technology research field, 31 knowledge workers were selected. And this is very important to analyze the results, I thought. So I have taken the choice of the employment of the knowledge workers, distribution of the subjects in the sample with respect to their job choice, whether they have taken that profession as self-choice or somebody has forced, like in general in India. So there are so many criteria to take up the jobs. First of all, parents and other relatives would pressure the people to take up a particular job. That becomes a prestige issue for people. So this is what the category I thought it would help me in discussing the data. Yes. So I found intercorrelation among perceived organization support, leadership skills, and innovative behavior. Of course, perceived organizational support is not actually correlating with self-leadership skill, which means self-leadership skill is not depending on any variable of perceived organizational support. It has an intrinsic motivation. So an individual feels that he can work, he can contribute, he can take his goal to the next level, even if the organization is not 100% supporting. That's what the first finding. Second, of course, the dimensions of self-leadership skills like behavior analysis and volition, task management. Third one is constructive cognition. And out of these dimensions, only two factors are having intercorrelation, which means behavior analysis and volition with task management, and constructive cognitive with task management. Then overall, innovative work behavior and positive organizational support has very positive significant correlation, which means so for people it is apart from self-leadership skill, innovative work behavior of course can be improved only by providing positive organizational support. So that of course majority of the time organizational support only makes people to have more motivation, sense of belongingness and attachment to towards the organization. That's how they promote their innovation, like by having support. And all other variables are having some intercorrelation, but I'm just talking about the overall variables. The second one is difference in perceived organizational support, self-leadership skills, and innovative behavior. This is the difference between male and women, male and female. Perceived organizational support, idea generation, idea promotion, idea realization, and innovative behavior. So only overall perceived organizational support, innovative behavior only have the difference between men and women, right? In other categories like self-leadership skill, there is no difference because men and women are equally capable of having the leadership skill, but only due to a few reasons. Maybe because of having two very crucial role for women, there is a difference in perceived organizational support. Like they are considered very important for family and professional life. Unlike previous decades, it is considered. So there is a difference between men and women. Innovative work behavior also is found the difference between men and women due to several reasons. Then finally, overall self-leadership skills is only having the difference between the knowledge workers.
Could you give us your conclusions?
Yeah, yes, sir. This is the conclusion. I'm just finishing. There is a difference between humanities and science in terms of self-leadership skill. right? In positive or perceived organizational support, innovative behavior, there is no difference between the knowledge workers of humanities and science, because they are having more innovation, more perceived organizational support. But there is a like a constraint in terms of self-leadership skill, that management has to consider that, and they'll have to train the employees in promoting their self-leadership skill. That's all. Thank you very much. And this is what the conclusion as well.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? We have time for one, I think.
Yes, please.
Just wait for the microphone, please.
Sir. Not all the values are significant, sir.
Not all the, but exception is that I, R and CC, there is a 0.00 correlation.
Yes, sir.
And IWB and CC is 0.06.
Yes, sir.
With respect to that, SLS is having 0.02 and CC is having 0.05 and TM is 5. What is justification of you? Why these are not significant? There might be reason.
Yes, sir.
And what is CC? What is variable indicating CC?
Yeah. CC is constructive cognition. It is a sub-dimension of self-leadership skill. And task motivation is and also like a sub-dimension of self-leadership skill. When constructive cognition is so I'll show the slides and
perhaps that's a conversation you may need to have afterwards. So we'll need to move on now. Thank you very much, Mr. Ganapranash.